Absolutely, love that.
That was cool.
Games are happening right now, but there's going to be a fun game happening in the kitchen, so don't go anywhere. It's time to fill up those beautiful bellies.
I'll go. I want to music.
Oh, he's back.
Move way.
Clover fresh milk.
Made with love by Clover.
Oh, well, listen, after that fun game, it's time for us to fill our bellies. And if you're looking for a delicious summer-inspired midweek meal, well, we've got you sorted. We've got all the inspiration you need. Our grilled eggplant bake takes a low-carb spin on the traditional classic. It's really easy to prepare. The flavors are on top-notch, and it's also perfect for sharing thanks to Clover BUTRO. Now, if you are new to the studio, you will know that Chef Ryle is not that bad in the kitchen. He's actually quite good. Eggplant, is that something you eat quite often?
It's aubergine, right? That's what they call it.
Aubergine, brinjal, eggplant, same thing.
I've weirdly enough been loving it of late. It's like this weird, I would almost say like a meat alternative that I use in a lot of dishes, and it almost forms a shell for so many things that you can put inside it as well. So it's so versatile, and you're going to see exactly today how versatile it actually is with this recipe that we're making. So
cool.
Shall we get into it?
Go for it. I believe
right.
you're going to start off with the BUTRO, and what is amazing is BUTRO is made with the goodness of dairy, and that's Clover BUTRO. It is tasty, it is smooth, and it's so easy to spread. And spreading the BUTRO onto the aubergine, it really gives it a buttery flavor. It is so smooth, even when you're making a sandwich, it won't break your bread. That is the beauty of BUTRO. So you've got some BUTRO, you're adding some parsley, some garlic.
Yes, and I just wanted to show you, it's 2 tablespoons of BUTRO, but look how easy this just goes into it.
Look
and,
at that.
Just slides off the spoon. So to work with it, it's so manageable. I mean, this has literally just come out of the fridge, but yet you can see how easy it is to work with it. So what I'm doing here is kind of creating like, you'd call it a basting in a weird way. Essentially, this is going to be basted over the nicely cut, sliced aubergine that we've got over here, which I've already done. And the fun part with this is essentially what I'm doing is mixing up the garlic and everything together. And once I've got that sort of like little paste going on, voila, just like that, I kind of literally, I'm just going to start basting away
and grill our aubergine.
Yeah, that's exactly what's going to happen. So I'm going to get my grill on. Obviously, the butter, the garlic, and the parsley are just going to kind of get absorbed into it. And then while I'm busy with this, you can start talking about what else is happening.
I'll start with our tomato-based sauce. So we've got some tinned tomato here. And obviously, if you're going to be using tomato, it's great to counteract the acidity with a little bit of sugar. So I'm just mixing in a little bit of brown sugar. We're going to use some salt and pepper, as well as some fresh basil. Tomato,
nice.
Basil, burrata,
Can't go
mozzarella. You cannot go wrong with those flavor
I got to say, when I was
combinations.
in Italy just of late, I honestly can't tell you how well they use those ingredients. And they're pretty much like staples. Talking about tomatoes, they're like literally everywhere. I think the Mediterranean pizza was like made somewhere in Napoli or Naples or something. So they use it so often, and especially when they combine basil and some of those fresh herbs. Oh, Italian flavor at its finest.
Winning, winning. And then I'm also going to add a little bit of soy sauce to our mixture.
All right. So I have pretty much got my grill on. I actually used the wrong pans, I think.
Yes, you did. You're supposed to use the grill.
I used the grill pan
You can actually just quickly transfer them.
Let me do that. Can I just steal some of this?
Of course.
And pop this in the
Because we've got the
pan?
hot grill going.
There we go. That's what I was missing.
We want those beautiful
sizzle.
lines.
Yes. Nice lines that sizzle and that sear, and that's going to get my actual grill on. What I am going to be using this pan for later is something a little bit interesting, which I'll talk about in just a bit. So once we've got our grill on over here, essentially what we're then going to do is, once we've combined your ingredient list over there, we've got our grilled up aubergine, we need that beautiful crumb. And the crumb is so interesting because essentially, once again, what we're going to be doing is combining, what we've got here is breadcrumbs, we've got Parmesan cheese, and then we've also got some parsley once again, but we are still going to be using the BUTRO in this as well. BUTRO, sorry.
Some BUTRO.
So we're going to be putting a spoon of that right into this, mixing it all up together, and this is essentially got to combine itself and create that beautiful.
And that's going to give us that beautiful crumb. Should I keep an eye on the aubergine?
If you can, that'll be amazing.
I'll
while
give it
I
a
prop
little
this
bit of a
crumb
turn.
together, and hopefully get this to become the final ingredient.
Look at that
recipe. Oh, there's those lines we're talking about.
Those are the lines we want.
Yes,
Feels like I'm in
bring it
front of a braai.
All right. The pan obviously has to be scorching hot. Get that grill effect going on.
That's
and,
beautiful.
I'm just using my hands for this one to just kind of get the BUTRO and the crumbs mixed together quite nicely so that it does bind lekker to this entire dish.
Okay, so I'm going to turn up the heat on yours. so that you can get going on the crumb. And what's beautiful is now that we've got our different components ready, it's all about putting it together.
Yes.
Now, we are using a bit more of a shallow dish, but you can use a bigger dish and go with multiple layers.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start off by, if you
Right.
don't mind, Raul, passing me that dish.
Got you. Here you are.
We're going to start off by adding our grilled aubergines
Yum.
to the pan.
All right, and while you're busy with that, I can just pop over on this side and essentially with a clean pan and not one that you've used to test out some of your aubergine on, you're essentially putting this beautiful mixture into the pan, kind of getting it nice and crispy, getting that roast on, and this crumb is going to turn into a perfect sort of a crunch that you want on top of this. You got those nice soft textures of the aubergine, and then you're getting the crunch on top from this crumb, which is kind of just going to bring it together magically. Oh.
Fantastic. So layer as many aubergines. Obviously, fill your tray, your baking tray, and then the burrata also gets added just before we add the crumb. And I don't know about you, Raul, but I'm a sucker for burrata. If I see burrata on a menu, I'll try and order whatever I can so that that's part of
So
mine.
it's a part of it, yeah. It's premium, honestly. The way it comes together as well, especially when you add heat to it, kind of has this interesting sort of a melting effect. It doesn't melt like your regular cheese, but the flavor is just to absolutely die for. I love it. Once you've got the crumb all done, you can pop it on top of that, and that's our recipe pretty much done, yeah?
There we go. Well, listen, if you want to get your hands on this delicious grilled eggplant bake, we have it on our website, expressoshow.com. If you've missed any of the steps to making this delicious bake, we've got a few steps for you.
Made with love by Clover.